problem today, I don't know your part of the world, but in our part of the world, almost all the Middle East and including Dubai, of course, the WhatsApp is down. So I was trying to reach him from early in the morning, but the WhatsApp, he's joining us now. Welcome.
Thank you.
No problem.
Good morning. Sorry for being late.
Good morning, Your Highness.
Good morning, His Royal Highness.
Hi, good morning.
So, as we all are here, thank you all. Good morning to all. Your Highness, this is Mr. Professor Klaus, Phil Klaus. He's working in the Monaco University and the ultra high net worth individuals segment, all about their lifestyle, their needs, all around what they need. So, and we were very proud that they were willing to do a study on the customer journey for us to further enhance our work, our services. So, Your Highness, Professor Klaus, this is Your Highness Prince Turkey.
Nice to meet you, His Royal Highness.
Pleasure to meet you, and I'm happy to share my thoughts with you guys.
Yeah, it's.
I think I'll leave it to you, Professor Klaus.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you for the kind introduction, Bart. His Royal Highness, thank you so very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. We really appreciate it. Just a little bit of background. Our research is all about finding out why people do what they do, how you make your decisions, why you choose one over the other, and we highly appreciate that you took the time out of your busy schedule. My first question to you will be, when was the first time you were thinking about buying a yacht?
Oh, this is a very long time. I think it started in 1992. When I get my first small boat, then it just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
1992. If you recall that, could you tell me what was the trigger for it? Because we always talk about that something like initiate our...
I think the trigger, I like to go to the sea. I like to swim. So having a boat, it adds on to the places I like to go.
For example?
Like if you want to go to the sea, you need to have... Well, I started with jet ski. So when you have the jet ski, you just want to use the toilet. You want to rest. You don't want to spend all the day just riding the jet ski. And this came up with an idea to buy a small boat at the time, where you have a toilet, you have a small rest area, and you can sit and relax.
So it was a natural extension of your love to the sea, so to say, or to water?
Yes.
Were you born and raised close to the water?
Well, it depends which... both, actually. I go distance from the shoreline sometimes. Sometimes, I stay close by.
So when you think...
It's about the weather most of the time. How's the weather? Is it good to go far away or not?
Ah, so you wanted to get away from things, in a way, to relax.
Yeah.
Ah, that makes sense. So you had your passion, which is triggered by sport, so to say. Is that correct?
Yes.
And relaxation, a combination of the two.
Yes, and sport as well, because I like diving as well.
Ah, okay. So you are always, all the activities seem to be on the water, which is great, or in the water, for that matter. Good for you. So when you picked up your first boat, how did you go about it? Did you just say, I want this, or did you do some research, or have you seen one before? How did it go about?
Well, the first one, no, it was not about research. I was a young guy, and I was driving my car, and I saw those boats showing in a dealership outside, and I just went there and bought it.
You're like, that's it. I'll take this one. Yeah.
But after that, I do a lot of research before I buy any boat.
Okay. But how do you do your research?
Most probably through the internet, because you can see different opinion in the same product. People are saying this is very good. People saying it's not bad. So you make your own decision by reading all this what people are saying about them.
Okay, when you say people are saying about it, do you mean like journalists, like Boat International, brokers, users?
No, I like to go towards the people they own the stuff. They will give you the real opinion. They are not being paid or anything else.
So you value the opinion of and the expertise of your peers more than somebody who says, "Oh, we are the greatest and we build the nicest boats, etc., etc." To be a little bit provocative here.
No. In this stage now, me and my team, we have more knowledge about boating, and so we know what we want. So we try to find the people who can deliver what we want. It's not about building a normal boat, because we have a very good example here where we have this design and we have about 3 shipyards. They just refuse to even to think about building it.
Oh,
They said impossible to be built, and now it's on the final, almost halfway there.
how did it make you feel when you spoke to the people who said pretty much that's not possible?
Well, I just delete them.
Erase from contact list. But you selected them based upon what peers said about them, correct? So the 3 that you approached were based upon somebody else saying they're good people and they build great ships.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's still a kind of a process involved to get to the right partner.
There's a big process to reach this state. And it's not that people, they will not say no from day one. They go to their, because I think it's about capability. People have capability. So when you get something unique, something big, something adventure, people get scared by nature. Because something new, I don't want to get involved, how it will work, so it's a lot of things to add on. So the best way is to run away from it. Well, some people, they like challenge, they like to go to adventure with new thing. And here where you get the rewards when you do something special.
But the way you described it to me was always that they're saying at the beginning, yeah, we can make it. And then when you get in the process, they say, no, not really. Is that correct?
Yeah.
How does it make you feel when you have this kind of reaction later on in the process?
Because I don't go to one single place to get what I want. I always go to 3-4 different places at the same time. And I think everybody knowing that I'm not speaking to you only, I'm speaking to other people.
Okay. And this kind of procedure or this process, did you come up with that right away, or was it more based upon your experience in the past that you said it's better to talk to multiple people at the same time?
I think it's better because people, they invest more time taking it serious if they know you are speaking to the other people. So they want to get things done quickly just to get the opportunity to build the sport.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I also, you mentioned something interesting to me. You said it takes time to get to that spot. That means that you know what you want. So the first experiences, they were not, how shall I say, as good as they are now. Is that fair to say? And if yes, why?
I will not say that. I would say we get more mature knowing what we want and to speak to who and to go or to sign a contract with someone you really think they can deliver.
Okay. So it's more go on, sorry.
It's more than just, as I told you, we've been in the yacht market for the last maybe, in the big boats for the last maybe 10 years now. So we have a lot of connection, we know a lot of people, we know. So it makes it much easier to find the right people.
But it took a while to get there.
depends what do you mean by it took a while. Like the special one, the boat we are building now, it doesn't take that long. I think it take from the day we met with the guys, it took us 2 years to start the build, which is normal in boat life with a new design, new everything.
Now you're quite proud of your new baby, so to say.
Yeah. I think everybody involved in this project, they are proud about it.
Ah, that's
But
marvelous.
also, Professor, if you
Yeah.
allow me to interrupt, I just want to add to what His Royal Highness was saying. I think it's very important to take into what we're trying to do, or he's trying to do, His Royal Highness, is usually he's taking best practices and customizing them and bettering them to his needs and his requirement. So we're not inventing things that have not been done before. We're just taking what has been invented and customize it and better it to his needs and his family needs to make it more usable, friendly to him and his family. So we're not coming up with ideas that we know that 90% of the time either is super new or not realistic to put forward. It's more, how do we take what is available there right now and make it more friendly and usable from our needs and our requirements. Sorry, I just wanted to add that.
No, thank you so very much for clarifying that, because I understand that reflects the tailor-made process. So the challenges that His Royal Highness is encountering is not more, I want to do something out of the ordinary. You're just saying, I have something that's already there, but I need to have it tailor-made to my needs.
Yeah.
Oh, and that when when I take it a step farther, that must be even more frustrating, because you must be saying the solution is there. All you have to do is tweak it a little bit. What seems to be the challenge?
Yeah.
Okay. And how does it make you feel when you hear these things?
Well, I think we feel proud that we're doing something unique.
Okay. When you think about it, is it only that because you're a man of experience and you have a life experience and everything that comes to this, is these dealing with challenges or these challenges unique to the yachting industry, or do you encounter it anywhere else or everywhere else?
No, it's not that unique, but it is new. And what I mean, not new for the industry, like what Mohammed said. The technology is there, but let's take an example. Like the engine we are having in this boat, it used to be a military engines, so nobody was using it for a private boat. So we went to this step. Why can't we use it? So something like this. So it is, as Mohammed said, the things are there, but you need to put them in one single boat.
So it seems to me like, forgive me or correct me if I'm, that you have ideas on how to
Professor,
improve.
if you allow me.
Sorry. Please.
Professor, I think the main frustration sometimes is conveying the message to the team or the manufacturers of what we're trying to achieve, because what His Royal Highness have seen over time and over the years, even with international boat manufacturers, is they have a set in stone copy and paste type of a presentation or type of a mold or type of an idea, and to try to deviate them and make them think the way you want things to be done, this sometimes proves to be the most frustrating and difficult part. But at the end of the day, usually they buy in, and this is where His Royal Highness is very clever in terms of communicating his message. Is he always believed that if your team does not, and the production team does not buy in to the idea or to the design that you're trying to achieve, they will never deliver it to the specs that you want them. So it's always very important from His Royal Highness perspective to get everybody. For example, if you take Bart, why do we need for a bathroom outside? Why not only inside? They had, and then Bart started thinking this is a very clever idea, because people coming from the swim area don't want them to run inside on the carpet or on the wood with them being wet. and then the idea becomes more valid, and then the idea grows into, well, let's have a shower outside also, etc., etc. So from His Royal Highness perspective, it's not only bettering the idea or putting what he and his family needs, is making sure that the other side buys into it to deliver it the right way also. Sorry, I keep interrupting, but don't mind me.
No, I don't mind at all. I mean, every insight you can share is more than appreciated. So thank you so very much for sharing that. So if I understand you correctly, the most frustrating or challenging part is that you have a vision, and when you try to convert the vision, people fall back in the super yacht industry and saying, yeah, but we normally do it this way, you know. Can we not stay in our comfort zone? Is that fair to
Yes,
say?
I think it is. Yeah.
Okay, that must be quite frustrating. But then on the other side, you must be very happy if you find somebody who is receptive to your message. How does it feel if somebody all of a sudden says, yeah, let's make it happen, or let's help you to make it happen?
Yeah, I prefer somebody saying, let me help you to make it happen, because we have to make the right decision. I am not a boat builder, so I need the expert advisory as well. So if they said, no, this is wrong, I have to understand that it's wrong.
And how did you find the good people at Repack?
Well, I think we met them in Monaco Boat Show through a friend.
A recommendation?
Yes.
Okay. Because you value that, as you mentioned before. Yeah.
No, because if someone come through friend or someone who you trust in this industry, and he said, I have someone who's good at this. So, you know, he will not, it is not advertisement, it is not something you see in the internet or a video from where you have nice graphics and showing things they cannot do.
It's a seal of approval.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then when you encountered for the first time Repack, it was Bart, correct? Your first contact?
Yes.
Yeah. How was it to get in touch with him and talk about your ideas?
Well, he was exciting, and he was into it from day one, and he wanted to do his best to get or to deliver what we want. And actually, we start with something totally different than what we are ending now.
Really?
So, and this is what I like about them. They go with your needs, not what they want to do. They listen very good to you. They understand what you want, and they go and come back with the best solution they can get. And sometimes we put a lot of challenge to them. They don't say no and they don't say yes. They said, let us go back and see. And they come up with two different solutions where they give you the choices, what is doable and you can achieve, not what you think. Sometimes what you think, sometimes it will just cost you a lot of money for no good reason. So they give you back and they come back with a solution, which is good.
Ah. Which is apparently the way you describe the entire industry, a slightly different approach than the one that you normally encounter, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Good. So
I
then,
think the ability to understand and come back with a solution, not yes or no. Some of the industry, they say just no because they don't want to get, or they don't want to invest their time to come up with a solution to the things you are putting at the table.
and you appreciate that, like when Bart comes back and say, yes, but, look at this and look at that.
Yeah.
That's good. So he's almost like a consultant, you would say,
Yes, I think which is helping us and him at the same time, because sometimes you just say, this is, if we do this, we will lose this and this and this. So he give you all the right answer for your or the right direction for your decision to take. Not no, we cannot do this because it's difficult. No, he give you why it's difficult, what is the cost, what you will lose in speed, let's say, in the boat, and weight.
All the things that are important in terms of requirements and everything that's done with the boat. That makes sense. My question for you, therefore, is then Repack kind of also a mediator? So you don't have to have the frustration that somebody tells you we don't do that, but Repack and Bart goes on your behalf and make it happen?
No, I think they are in charge more than that. They are doing
Okay.
the design themselves. So what they design, they have to make sure they can deliver.
Mm-hmm. Do they also pick the shipyard then for you?
It was a process, and they put their recommendation, and we go with the recommendation because you want the designer to be in charge of what he's going to deliver the shipyard, because by the end of the day we have to deliver what we see.
You mentioned that you have many yachts. So one that you, over 20 years practically, moved from one to the other and the other. Was that the first time you used a designer, or were you before always contacting shipyard directly?
No, before we used to buy boats ready-made.
Okay.
This is our first time to go through a whole building process from scratch.
Yeah. And when you think about it, because it's so completely different, did you come with this idea yourself, or somebody said, if you want to build something, you should have somebody who's like in between the builder and yourself?
Yes, definitely you have to have a team. It's a full team with you to go through this process because it's a lot of daily work. So unless you want to get involved in every day for 3-4 hours a day of your time to just get things moving. Yeah.
That makes
So,
sense.
Professor, I think Bart and Vripack are a very important part of the puzzle to build a boat, but they are not the only part, because you need a lot of other pieces of that puzzle to ensure that what is being delivered by the shipyard and by the designer is up to class. It could be certified. It has all the technologies that the family needs in terms of AV technologies. It has the right dynamic in terms of the ability to generate the speed that you want, for example, to generate the cruising speed that you want. So from His Royal Highness perspective, if you remember in the beginning of the call, he said there is a full team that works all around the clock, basically, to ensure that what Bart has designed and continue to work on until the boat is delivered, it have all the right support team to help Bart deliver what he wants to deliver.
Well, which is excellent. Thank you for clarifying that. My follow-up question is, or another question is, was Repack the only designer you were talking with, or you also said, let's talk to 3-4 at the same time and see what's coming out?
I think at the time we, as I told you, we started different projects with Bart, and when we came up with a new idea, he was there, he was into it. I didn't feel that we need to go to speak to someone else because the first design he presented to us, even the sketch, it was what we want.
Excellent. So all the others who were probably or could have been in the running were eliminated right there.
Yeah.
Ah, perfect. So the trust and transparency that came from your friend clearly has been reflected by the practices and the way you were dealing with Bart. Yeah.
Also about his work, so it's not about somebody referring to somebody else, but what he delivered, that's what make us continue with him.
Okay, so it's very much goal oriented. You say, this is what I need, can you deliver? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
And they pick up the idea very quickly and they put it in drawing, which is good, where you can see your thoughts and drawing. So you said, no, this is what I want.
Ah, so they are very responsive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to hear. So all the things that are important in terms of building more than just a contract negotiation.
No, more than that. I think they are. I see them now as part of the team more than a designer. And I have the confidence to call Bart anytime. I said, Bart, I have this problem. How can I solve it? Even outside of the world of what we are building.
Excellent. Oh, that's quite a seal of approval there, Bart. You must be delighted to hear that. Yeah. But they are doing great things, but in your humble opinion, which are the things they might be able to improve upon? So, Bart, you have to close now your ears.
Well, to be fair, there is no challenge we give it to them and they come back and say, or they get delayed. They are always ahead. So really, I have, at least with what we are doing with them, I have no issue at all. He's always on top of his work, on top of his deliveries. He's keen to deliver what he promised.
When you compare Bart and Vripack to all this 20 years of experience that you have in the superyacht industry, would you call them like unique in any way, or what do you say is so different that they do well for you?
I think unique, both of them. I would say unique, they deliver what I want, and they let you feel that you are part of the team, which is more important, because sometimes you have designer, and I'll give you an example with Lawson. Everybody know Lawson. We went, in one stage, we went through Bart and Lawson to design a vessel. Lawson people, they come up with a design and almost they stick to it. That's what we have. Okay, we'll tweak it this way, but not like Bart and his team, where they will say, what do you want?
So it's very, how shall I say, customer centric and very flexible, rather than saying, this is we do it this way, let's see how we can fit you in.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So flexibility is definitely appreciated, something that keeping in mind that it's about you and your needs, because it doesn't get more tailor-made than a super yacht, does it?
Yeah.
I think, Professor, the interpersonal relationship between His Royal Highness and Bart, and I don't want to say that they are a small to medium firm, but that by itself gave a much more stronger relationship, as we felt, and His Royal Highness always felt and always said that he felt that Vripack, they're building my boat and only my boat, and we felt that way from the get-go. I'm sure they have other business on the side, but they made us, the team, and His Royal Highness feel that this is the only project on plate. They're fully dedicated for it from top to bottom.
Oh, that's excellent to hear. And it resonates with some of our research, that the most important thing that people feel is somebody is building your yacht instead of one shipyard is delivering a yacht and you are the owner. Does it make sense?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think just because His Royal Highness is very kind, didn't want to say any negative about Bart and Vripack. I will take that gesture and say sometimes if they were geographically more approachable, so we are a client in the Middle East and Vripack is in Europe. Now, I know in building boats, you don't need to be geographically available, but sometimes it would have been nice if geographically they had an office in our part of the region where it's easy access just to go to the office in and out. But today with technology, things have changed. But that always is an added value from our perspective and our eyes.
That makes sense. It's always, nothing can, how shall I say, substitute personal interaction. So just like walking into an office and saying, come out on the port and let's take a look at this. But that's clear, that makes complete and utter sense. So for Bart, this is a call to action to think about an office in this region. Well, I leave it up to you guys, but thank you so very much for mentioning that. That's highly appreciated. So, His Royal Highness, my question will be, based upon what you just said, did you actually recommend BART and BART services to somebody in your, how shall I say, in your social circle, in friends and family?
Yes.
Ah, you did. Excellent. And because that's the ultimate seal of approval, so to say. If you say, this is my guy, for lack of a better word, if you want to work there, you should work with them.
Yep. Definitely.
Excellent. Well, that's quite the seal of approval you got there. And it, yes, please.
Went one step further. I mean, he recommended part design and customization to some of the international boat production companies around the world. So, and that happened even very recently in Monaco Boat Show, where he introduced him personally to one of the top boat manufacturers in the world for certain sizes, and he said they should collaborate together on some of the bigger boats that they're working on, basically.
Excellent. Oh, that's very kind of you, I would say, His Royal Highness. Oh, you're quite valued there, Bart. Excellent job. For all of you, so to say. So when is the boat ready?
August.
August. Ooh. So you're looking... Tell me, His Royal Highness, how you're feeling about that? Can you hardly wait? You know, it's your first...
Well, I'm looking forward to receive the boat. Let's hope it will be delivered at the time.
Okay. In the meantime, have you seen the boat, or are you somebody who say, I only want to see it when it's perfect. I don't want to see it before.
I have a weekly report with pictures.
Ah, okay. Is that important to you?
Yes, very important. So you at least you know there is things are getting delayed with all this problem worldwide with the shipping stuff from place to place. So you want to be on top of it.
Okay. And your entire team, it's like, in a way, it's about managing expectations, isn't it?
Yeah.
We always find that this is a very point, because we all know, especially in this business, there can be delays with so many people involved.
We know that, so.
Yeah, so it's
we'd like to put the effort to make things ready at the time. If things went wrong. We can't do anything about it. So.
And if things went wrong, important is that they are communicated.
Yes, at least we know from 2 months ahead that we have a problem with this part is not coming at the time, or what we've been promised from the manufacturer doing, let's say the avionics, it will be delayed. So they have nothing. You cannot blame the shipyard, or you cannot blame part or anybody else.
Yeah, transparency again, you know, that could lead to trust. That makes sense. Yeah. So based upon your entire experience, which is now actually when starting 1992, it's going to be 30 years anniversary now, you know, for you and buying boats. Is that the best experience you had up to this point in the super yacht and the yachting industry?
Well, I will say it's the largest one. It's not about the size, but as an experience, it's one of the largest experience I get through this. I'll call it joint venture with Bart and his team.
Yeah. And every time you go again and it gets better, also the process of getting there?
It was a learning curve to me, because this is the first time I built boat from scratch, as I said. So I think it's went very well with the good team we have from both sides, from my side and from Bart's side. So we all go together and we support each other to deliver this boat. I think this is the most important thing.
Okay. Is the learning curve steady, or is it like a hockey stick? First like flat and then it accelerates, or is it more like...
No, it's graduate studying and learning because I have the experience from before. But when you start building boat from scratch, there is too many things you don't get involved when you buy a normal boat.
So more time is required from you. True?
Yeah, I think it took us 2 years just to go from the sketches to the drawing, where we said, okay, this is the boat, let's start.
Were you aware of that it will cost that much of personal involvement to get it done?
Yes, definitely, yes.
So you know what you're getting yourself into. You're like, okay. Are you enjoying it?
Yes, definitely I'm enjoying it, yes.
Yeah. Is it the joy of creating something unique? Or what is it?
Both. I like boating, and this boat is so unique with very thoughtful design, and I feel in love with the boat. So, yeah.
So it's very something very close to your heart, so to say.
Yes. Yeah.
That's good for you. So you're fulfilling yourself a dream.
Yes.
No, that's marvelous. Yeah. No, good for you. I'm very happy for you. And I hope I get to see it after August.
You are most welcome.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. But you also mentioned your team. Your team, was that also assembled over time, that you dealt with people, you say, you're going to be part of my team, you're not going to be part of my team, because you're doing it for so long?
No, because we have more than one, so we have a team. They are always with us.
Okay.
Like Muhammad, like Lydia, now they are joining the co-op with us. So we have a solid team. That's what makes it, this thing is moving smoothly, at least.
Okay, and these are all based upon existing relationships that you already had established.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So you're building your team based upon the project, it walks with you, and you learn during the process.
Yeah.
So my question will then be, what's next? You know, once you got it in August, are you already planning a new project that you say, okay, once this is done, there's something else that I would like to have? Or is it like, no, that's it. Let's have it and let's enjoy it.
No more projects, please.
Sorry, I'm probably stimulating here to think. But you know, in our research, we see that very often, that people like His Royal Highness have such a joy in creating these things that once they're created, they say, let's do it again, you know.
I think we will have a challenge to Bart himself, but in the near future, where I would like to see a design for a boat, but it's still in my mind. Didn't share it with anybody.
Okay, so it's a world first today. You heard it here first. No, I mean, because the way you describe it, you seem to me like somebody who's really into a hands-on, the creative approach, you know, innovative, making things happen, make it tailor-made. It seems to me also your body language shows you have a lot of joy doing that and the interaction, the way you describe it.
Yes.
Even if your team said, please do not, you know.
But always my team saying, no, don't do something new, but this is all.
Have to keep them busy. No, that makes sense. I'm aware of the time, and I wondered if there's anything else you would like to share with me?
No, I think we covered everything you need
from
your side.
I got more than I needed, you know, that's always marvelous. It's a real pleasure to making your acquaintance, also Mohammed's acquaintance. You know, thank you so very much, His Royal Highness. Thank you so very much for introducing us, Bart. You know, it's a pleasure. And I hope the next time you're in Monaco, just drop us a line so we can meet. You can see our university. We have a coffee or whatever you need. If there's something you need from us,
I would love to.
let us know. Yeah, it would be delightful to meet you in person.
It's a pleasure.
One thing.
Yeah.
What's the name of the boat? What's her name?
It's called a special one.
A special one. And I'm sure it will be.
Good name.
Yeah, marvelous name. Yeah. So again, thank you so very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. I wish you a marvelous day and a marvelous reminder of the week, and I hope I see you one time in person very soon. And best of luck with the special one.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Take care. Have a great day.
Sure.
Bye bye.
Thank you, Mohammed. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Your Royal Highness.